Delta CEO Ed Bastian is now strongly condemning Georgia's controversial new voting law after receiving backlash for earlier supporting parts of it. The Atlanta-based airline, which is one of the state's largest employers, was a target of boycott threats after Bastian previously said the law had improved considerably. In a new statement yesterday to Delta employees, he now calls the legislation unacceptable, saying it does not match Delta's values. He said the entire rationale for the bill was based on a lie. Well, the state's Governor Brian Kemp says Bastian's statement stands in stark contrast to our conversations with the company and ignores the content of the new law. Ed Bastian joins us now to discuss. Let's sort this all out. Ed Bastian, good to see you again. Listen, the governor's upset. It's clear you guys aren't going to be going for joint mani-pedis anytime soon. But he does raise a really good point, because he says you all were involved in the discussions about the law, that you never raised any concerns about it. He said he now feels blindsided by you. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, good to be with you, Gayle. It's been a frustrating few weeks for all of us here in the state of Georgia. As the process unfolded, it was moving quickly. There were a lot of changes. Our team was in there, absolutely, expressing our points of view, making significant improvements to what had been proposed. But when we got a chance to finally see it all put together and had a chance to digest it, as well as listen and hear from the voices of our people about it, we realized that this was restricting their access, our people's access, particularly in the Black community, and it did not step forward. It's important that we take a step forward here in terms of a society that is so polarized. The right to vote is sacrosanct, and we can't do anything to send a message to people that we're going to make it more restrictive and harder to have their voice heard in this difficult time.
Did you not know that before, Ed? I understand that you spoke with Black leaders and Black employees. What did they tell you, and what was your message? Did you not know any of that before?
No, we of course we knew that before, Gayle, and we were very clear well before the bill was signed into law. We had put statements out to that effect, and some of the comments that were made were taken out of context. We were not supporting the bill. We were supporting the fact that we were exiting toxic provisions of proposed legislation. But when you put it all together, it did not match with what we said at the start we were looking to do, which was to ensure that voter rights are protected, they're sacrosanct, and they're facilitated in a safe and secure manner.
Mr. Bastian, the Georgia State House has now responded to your revised statement opposing the law, and they have voted to strip tax breaks that Delta benefits from there in the state of Georgia. That's a pretty big deal. I'm curious, what's your reaction to that?
I'm not going to respond. This is something that's more than money. This is about protecting the voices of our people. When I speak to our people, particularly within the Black community, we're here in Atlanta. We've got a very, very large Black employee base. Almost universally, they are hurt by the law and the legislation that was enacted, and we need to make certain their voices are heard. We spent a lot of time in the last year reaching out to those most vulnerable and telling them that we hear them, that we see them, that their voices matter. And if we can't stand with them now, when will we?
So you say the law is, in the revised statement, based on a lie and unacceptable. To put it simply, does that mean you will work to repeal the law? Is that your position? Should it be repealed?
We're going to work to make certain that our employee voices are heard and access to their vote is protected and is facilitated, but of course in a safe and secure manner.
Ed, I know you just talked about that you had conversations with Black leaders and your employees, and that kind of helped you digest this law and come out so strongly yesterday after praising parts of the law on Friday. But what do you say to critics who are saying that you're responding to the threats of boycotts that followed your statement Friday, where you talked about certain parts of the law that you felt were beneficial?
We never said that parts of the law were beneficial. What we said were we appreciated the toxic portions of the proposed legislation were being taken out. That's what we appreciated, and that was beneficial. But it's not, the law in its entirety was not beneficial, and we never said that. But what we do is we run our business, and I don't respond to boycotts. And we live in a divided time. There's as many people probably on the other side that are upset with me now as were last week. But we were clear before this whole discussion started that we need to protect the right to vote, and we're continuing with that objective, and we'll continue to fight to make those changes happen as necessary.
Yeah, we heard one of your conversations was with Ken Chenault, who joined us yesterday to talk about the letter that they put in the New York Times. But I want to talk about Delta, the airline, if you don't mind, because I'm looking at that beautiful plane behind you. And I hear that Delta is now going to start opening up middle seats. And a lot of people are thinking, no, don't do that. The cases are going up. That was one of the selling points for Delta, that you all were leaving the middle seats closed so people couldn't sit there. What's leading to the change now? Why do you think now's the time when COVID cases are going back up?
Well, Gayle, as we've navigated the pandemic, our top objective was to make certain that consumers felt confident in air travel, the safety of air travel. And we are doing that. And it's all of the safety protocols. The middle seat and capping the number of people on the plane were just one of those standards. But the cleanliness standards, the air quality, the filtration systems, ensuring masks are being complied with on board our planes. I've instructed our team to make sure that every time a customer boards a Delta plane, it feels factory fresh. You're just stepping on. And they're doing that, and customers are telling us that. And when you look at where the case counts are, and yes, there are certain parts of the country that case counts are starting to rise a bit, but in aggregate, case counts are still relatively contained. And more importantly than that, the vaccinations are soaring. 40% of the U.S. adult population have been vaccinated at this point. We're not opening those middle seats quite yet. It's not going to be till May. Okay. And our customers tell us by May that 2/3 of them by the 1st of May expect that they'll be vaccinated, and 75% by Memorial Day. We've got to respond to the surge in demand that people are looking to travel. Today actually will be our busiest day post the pandemic in terms of people we're carrying, and we're carrying them safely. And we're giving people more opportunity to fly in Delta than ever before, and that's really important.
Got it. So you're waiting till May because you're thinking more people will be vaccinated. Got it. Have you been vaccinated, Ed Bastian?
Yeah. I have, Gayle. I hope you have too.
I have too. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time.